Welcome. Not thinking of any specific additional props, so you're always welcome to have props that you enjoy using, especially for the rest at the end. CTE, standing with your big toes touching or your legs as close as they will come. You all have different bodies, so if something doesn't quite match up with your body, find your way of making it work. So this means standing, same standing pose, whatever that means. We narrow the foundation a bit. Build it from the ground up, spread and press your feet. Not super stiff, but kind of intentional, gathering the arms in by the sides, set your shoulders on your ribs. Are you throwing your pelvis forward? Are you slouching? All of these things, a moment to correct. Beginning to breathe deeply and intentionally through your nose. Settle your eyes. To the breastbone with your thumbs, coming up slightly from the base of the breastbone, so right in the middle of the chest, a calming energy point here if we come into that space a little bit with our thumbs, feeling that center, breathing 3 more times. Even breathing, samasvriti, even waves. Same standing as well. Adding the vibration of the Om, have a moment, swallow. So your throat is nice and open, and breathe in deeply. Oh. Allowing for that fourth sound of the Om, silence at the end. Already sense the vibrations. And release, we would get sore and tired if we stayed in CTE for a long time. Open it out to mountain, which eases the stance a little bit underneath the hips with the feet. Then bring your arms up slowly. So you want to breathe in first, breathe out, have awareness in your low belly. Let's take 2 more breaths with that before we reach the arms up, just to be ready for practice. In this preparation time, finding your physical center, this emotional center. Plenty of space away from your brain, so you're way down in your body and you have access to that grounded place. With a little bit of tone there, lift your arms, bringing your rib cage up and the plane of your face. Upward hands pose, 1. Breathing deeply, opening up breath space with this reach. Try not to arch your back, but reach with a tall spine, axial. Just a little tip of the neck. 1 more breath. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Upward hands pose, and then bring down your arms, release. Coming to squat with the arms coming together. Elephant trunk, thumbs to the space between the eyebrows, then hips down and back. Slow and controlled, spread your feet, go slowly. We're just getting warmed up for 1. So the arm position helps the spine stay a little upright. There's an elephant in the room. You can tell by the big gray toenails. Just remembering not to take any of it too seriously. Breathing in. When you're ready, stand up, return to your heart center energy point, and breathe out. Some gratitude practice. Let's flow. Breathing in, sweep up your arms, lift your face, reach for the sky. Slow breathing is the key here. Breathing out, a tilt in the pelvis. Hands really do what they want and come touch where they touch as you bring your head down. Slowly inhale, bringing your spine to axial extension, so long, straight spine. Bring your hands down, go back right leg, left leg to Palakasana for 1, the plank pose. Spread your fingers, press your hands, firm your thighs, long neck, so we can pay attention to our bodies as a way of coming out of our thoughts. Body, breath. Bring your knees down gently. Reset your toe tuck from plank and come to puppy. Lengthening back. Elbows up, armpits lifting, head down. Remember to make your compassionate choices in each shape so that you'll create positive patterns in your body, causing no harm. 4, gently activated, long spine, heart reaching down pose, breathing out. Inhale, cow spine. Come up, release your toes, hands move under the shoulders and you extend gently. Exhale, cat spine, slowly. Flex your spine so it comes into that forward curl. Inhale, slight lift of the tail, slight dip of the belly, slight lift of the chest and face. Exhale as deeply as you like to go into the flexion. You're flexion dominant. Extend gently. The extension is an important balance. And we don't consciously go into flexion most of the time. We just do it without thinking. Release. There's side flexion too, gazing towards your right pinky toe. Let your left waist lengthen as you gaze back. And all the while, we're doing a little plank pose work. Not discounting the hands and knees as far as that goes. Exhale again. Maybe you've got a little bit more space in your side flexion. Come out of it slowly. It's connected to your low back. Switch your hips. So it's a little bit of a hip move to the right. Gaze back towards the left pinky toe. 1. A little stillness in the low belly. The concentration mostly along that lengthening side. 1 more time, refine your range of motion. Come out with slowness. Sit back to child. You can move your knees if you need to, and let's bring the hands together behind the head idea. Maybe they touch fingertips or palms. Find your breath even in this consolidated shape. 1 more time. I realize I do not have my microphone in. Inhale to cow spine. Exhale, downward facing dog, lifting the knees. Make your refinements early on. And then bring your head down and breathe deeply. I am going to get my microphone. 1, 5 steady breaths. 2, exhaling deeply. 4th breath. Sorry about that. And 1 more time, breathing out. Transition to half lifting pose. Start with your right foot walking forward. Slowly fold towards your leg, knees bend as needed. So standing up, we have the legs in a little bit of a bend, the spine in a little extension. To stand with a tall spine. Slowly reach your arms, stretch your feet, touch, and bring your arms down into mountain, touch, and pause for your breath. Down-centered gaze. Let's do that again with the other side, stepping back first. Inhale, upward hands, upward face. You can add the touch. Exhale, Strong body, forward fold, touch your forehead towards your legs. Back lifting pose, keep your neck long. Left leg back first into Palakasana. If you're feeling solid in your plank, you've done it for a while, step your right foot out to the side and bring it back. Your left foot out and bring it back. Do that twice more. You can look back and see your feet. Tap out, tap out. Puppy was where we went from here, so knees down, back to puppy. Soul stretch, taking care of our toes, our feet, our foundation. Calm energy, open chest. One more time, breathing out. Never forcing your breath, always free to take extras or to pause in your spaces. Inhale, cow spine, they're just guidelines. Exhale, cat spine. One breath to look towards the right pinky toe. Center, left pinky toe. Center, child's pose, hands behind the head version for 5 breaths. Stretching out the upper arms a bit. Figuring out how to breathe in the shape one more time. Use your back body, your side body. Cow spine, breathing in. Downward facing dog, breathing out. We can add the tap out of the feet to downward dog if it is feeling solid. If you're still developing, be where you are. Left foot out to the side and back. So finding that steadiness in the low belly. So you don't move much, just your leg. Third one to each side, tap, tap. Reach your heels down, breathe out. Breathe one more time. Strong uplift in the low belly. So option to hop forward if it works for you. Stepping lightly is fine, but to add a little heaviness, bend your knees, hop, hop, creating vibration, only if it feels responsible. Fold towards your legs, breathe out as you're ready. Standing up, legs bent or straight, reach, inhaling, move with breath, touch. Exhale, shoulder alignment, come down and touch. Back to the path makers pose, the elephant arms. For what? Rest your thumbs at your third eye where the vagus nerve wanders close to the surface. Sea of tranquility. Breathe out again. And release up. From the top section of your mat, the step to crescent lunge with your left foot going back first. Nice to take a moment to prepare for this balance challenge, to set your eyes to a steady point, to step back, pivot to the ball of the foot, and center the front knee. Lower the back knee towards the floor and come up. So both knees bend and straighten, lower and release. Arms could go up. Totally changes it, makes it more challenging. I think that's 4. One more time, really try to find where you can go with that lowness and hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring down your arms, straighten your front leg. Bring the back one forward and kick it out. Open mouth, exhale. Ha. Second side. So you can pivot to the ball of the foot. Once you step back, front knee centered, back knee lowering. And control the movement. Grounding the root of your big toe on the front leg is especially helpful. Maybe the arms come up for the last couple of ones. I think that's 5. Going down into the low position. 1, 2, lots of stability. 3, maybe some sensation around the hips, creating that strength. And then kick it out as you're ready. Transition. Release. Left leg back for, right leg back for warrior A. So like we did, but stay on the heel, bend out the knee. Give yourself plenty of space to come down the middle in this pose. So don't hold back. We're trying to eventually be parallel to the floor with this front leg. So keep going as far as you can and still be content in the shape in your spine. So it's rib cage forward. Don't worry about the pelvis so much. It doesn't need to square forward. It's up here. Start with hands at your heart. Bring them up, up, up. Lifting the plane of the face, soften the shoulders. Hold steady in the legs. Visualize yourself gathering the energy you need for what comes. Warrior B, there's not a huge transition in this, especially with this version with the pelvis not all the way square. You can turn the back toes to the side, maybe space the feet a little more. Your spine is now side facing. Turn just your head, keeping the low belly underneath you. Here, try to firm the muscles around the bones, activate the muscles of your arms. Gather the fingers one more time. And release back to the top section of the mat. Second side, Virabhadrasana A. Concentration, maybe not taking quite so much time to come into it on this side. Use your feet to work into the stance. Notice your rib cage. Bring up your arms as you're ready. So listen to your lower back. This is the back bending pose, spinal extension. You want to have nice space in the low back and awareness in the front. I just did that touch in the belly without even thinking about it. Just touched my sacrum and felt the connection to the front. Just the energy needed for this. You're gently energizing, but not forcefully. Exhale when you're ready. Bring your hands to your heart. You can touch that heart point. Turn to the side. Refinements. Turn head and breathe, activating the arm muscles. Shoulders. Gather the fingers. One more time, breathe deeply. Release the arms. Come to the left side and stay. Please coming into Utthita Konasana, turning out both feet towards the corners of the mat or more, and tracking the knees right towards the middle toes. Come down into your goddess, tall spine. Traditional arms, and then let's move the elbows towards each other, like coming in and out of the elephant trunk while holding the legs steady. And even add a little bit of a squeeze in your chest as you come forward. Just bring them as close as they'll come. It's okay if they don't touch. Hold steady. Relax your feet open. One more time, come together, elephant trunk. Then straighten your legs. And release the arms, swinging out your heels to wide parallel feet for lateral lunge. Track your right knee towards your toes. Hands on the thighs. So this is our using our core strength as well as our leg and hip strength to hold the torso in nice alignment. Challenge your depth a little bit so you feel some strength. Then press your legs straight, breathing in. Breathing out, hip, knee, toes going all in the same direction. You're stretching the mat between your feet. Only 5 breaths, make it count. 4, 5. Follow your inhale, press your legs straight, inhale all the way up. And breathe out. Back to goddess, turn out. Come down the midline, check the knees not collapsing inwardly. Bring your right arm across your body, palm facing back, shoulder stretch. So put the other arm under. A little bit of a twist and stretch in the shoulders as you hold the legs evenly. 2. Nothing is forced. Release the arms. Other side, hold steady in the legs if you can. You could always take a tiny break and come back in. 1, 2, this is important work to keep our inseams of the legs open. Good for our feet and our pelvic floor. Coming on back to center, into star, open out, stretch the limbs, release all of that, breathe in. Breathe out, slowly float your arms down. Finishing with extended side angle. So back to wide parallel feet, then like warrior B with the front leg. Lean out, so tilt your pelvis to the side with a bent knee. Rest, reach, and then the rotation from your belly and chest and your face towards the ceiling. Big stretch across the front of the pelvis, the low back. One more time, foot to hand, that top line, nice and long. With inhale, release up, wide parallel feet. Exhale. To the other side, bend the knee. Once you have your foundation, pelvis tilts to the side with the spine. Rest your arm. Reach your other arm. Spin your heart towards the sky a bit. Eyes to the reaching hand. 1, 2. So that shoulder is following your arm with the reach, but you don't want to do it too much. Could be a place where you could soften a bit. 4. On the 5th breath, maybe you found your range of motion. Inhale energy. When you're ready, come up and out. Move with your breath. One more thing, wide parallel, feet forward fold. Breathe in. Breathe out. Slowly come down. You bend your knees. Variation with the big toes or the ankles. First 2 fingers inside the big toes, thumbs on the outside, encircling. So you use your hands to bring yourself into the forward fold. Gathering the pelvic floor muscles up into the torso, the low belly up, shoulders up. Spine reaching down. Exhale for 4. So there's one more breath to develop the shape. Breathe in, maybe come part way up, find some more length in your spine. Breathe out, last time, head coming slightly closer to the floor. Coming up to halfway lift. Breathe out, strong belly. Coming up the rest of the way. Work your feet close enough so you can step out. And release. Pause a moment at the midpoint of our practice and feel the energy of your body. Feel yourself in space. The vibrations. And the soles of your feet touching the ground. Adding a twist to our practice. Shiva's pose, one of the Shiva dancing poses, shifting weight into your left foot. Touch your heart center point and then shift weight into your right foot. Playful. Bring this into your everyday life where you just practice a little bit, like when you put your shoes on. Challenging your balance a little bit every day. Come back to your left foot now for the pose. Set your eyes. Exhale, belly aware. Lift up your right leg. You can keep your toes on the floor. Float up your arms as well. Bring your knee across your body. So a little low back rotation. And then the upper body goes the other way. Fingers dance. Find a new gazing spot. One. Find your expression of this pose. Concentrate. We'll go for 8 breaths, so that's 5, 6, 7, stay strong, 8. Control as much as you can, coming back with a little slowness. Recenter. Second side first, the standing foot prepares. Set your gaze, float your leg and your arms. Leg across to the other side of the body, torso the other way. So forcing into a pose like this doesn't work. There's a lot of softening in, a lot of nuance. Come back in if you come out. 4. Using core strength to rotate the spine. 6, 7, 8. Bring it on back to center. Back to Samstitihi for a pranic hold of the belly. 1. Prana, the vital energy. Energy hold. What a concept. Have an open heart, open mind, and hold your belly center for your breath. You have access to that. This is self-generated. And release. Get down onto the floor. Transitioning there with an up reach inhale. A forward fold exhale. Walking the legs back. The knees down. Maybe widening for child's pose. Number 3, your own favorite one. Grounding your brain. We're stretching the ankles, the knees, the spine in this pose. Try to keep it sweet. Balance the steadiness. Making your way to your seat. can just come and sit or flow through if you'd like. So a flow through might be cow spine or an upward dog. We haven't done that yet. Practice today. Back to a down dog. Keep your hips high, start walking forward. At some point, hands hold the weight and cross the ankles. Bring yourself down. Arrive. Find your samas here. Sitting tall, relaxed. Feeling a deep steadiness within ourselves. Bringing out your left leg to the side. Just let it come out from where it is. First, going forward, sit up tall. That leg to the side can relax in this variation. Tilt forward, come out and down. Your body, go as far as it feels good and breathe there. Only you know your body's experience, so find that appropriate amount of depth for yourself. One more time, range of motion. Make sure that you have discovered that. Just gently touching where that is. Breathing in, slide your hands back, resisting. Create some strength down the back as you come up. And fold in and open up to the other side. Give yourself room. Relax out to the side. Breathe in tall. Tilt pelvis forward. Come out and down. Seated forward. Fold. Once more. Breathe out. With some resistance with your hands, come back up. Now activate that leg out to the side. So pull back on your toes a little bit and tucked in the closet, leg activated for Parivrtta Shirsasana. Revolve Janu Shirsasana. So we do a side bend out over that long leg. The top arm come up and over like it's reaching for that foot. Both hands reach for the foot, chest towards the ceiling. So it doesn't need to be very far. On your expression of that, you could also have your arm on the floor. 1. Seated side bend variation. 2. It's a deep one. Keep the belly strong. 4. And meet your body right where it is. There is a strengthening that is in coming out of this shape, especially coming up and out. Let's go the other way. Fold that straight leg in. So you're on the inseam and into mer person. Option to lift the hips or not. Just leaning back, gazing down. Maybe find your power position and press into both legs and that hand to come up. One more time, gaze down the nose to counter this going back in space. Bring your hips down. And we'll come to the other side, so back to the leg stretched out to the side. Now activate that leg, the muscles, the foot, side bend, slowly coming in. Pay attention to your spine, your lower back. Try to have some low belly awareness. 2, jaw is relaxed, lips can seal. 3, 4, letting gravity help a little bit here. Lengthening that top side of your body. Slow inhale, straightening as you come up. Release the torso, fold in the long leg. Mer person, optional to lift the hips. Gaze down as you go back 1. 2, use both of your legs, both of your feet. 3, 4, 5. Bring a little gentle energy in with that shape. And a mindful transition back to your seat. Round to Baddha Konasana. Find a sit up. Bring your pelvis to your heels or your heels to your pelvis. Work them in as close as they will come to start. Heels together. Switch to hold your ankles or your big toes encircled with woven fingers. Tilt forward from your pelvis. Knees towards the floor. Calm breathing. One more time. Now coming up and using the hands to guide us out of that shape. Getting ready to lie down. We're practically in Malasana here though, so let's use a nice thing to add as a finishing seated pose. Garland, so similar to what we just did, where the knees are apart, but here the feet are trying to be down. You bring your hips closer to your feet, or your feet closer to your hips. Widen your knees, sit tall. Come forward slowly between your legs to whatever degree that works today. Then you can switch the arms one at a time if you would like to. Coming back to the chest point with the hands, or keeping the hands on the floor. Working deeply but responsibly. I think that's one of my isms from 2023, those 2 words together. One more time, breathe deeply. So we don't want to hold back and we don't want to force. That's what we are looking for here in our practice. And release those actions, slowly come up. Guide the legs out of the shape. Make a little bit of a shimmy to release all of that stillness and steadiness. Getting ready to lie back. Adding clothing so you stay warm. A sip of water if your throat is dry. Lie back, knees bent as you're ready. The time of year for warm liquids, or at least room temperature liquids. On your back with your spine centered and resting, shoulders resting. Bring the arms up into cactus. Letting your chest rest in the open. The elbows be heavy towards the floor or into the floor. One more breath. Bring your hands into gentle fists at your chest level and slowly press up to the ceiling and come down. So you don't have to imagine holding anything heavy, just the movement of your shoulders and shoulder blades, pressing up and coming down, controlled. Twice more. A little tone in the low belly here, pelvic floor. creating that stability, and release and relax the arms. For bridge pose today, working on some one leg bridge. So take a little time with foundation, centered spine, arms a little away from the body, palms, hands spread out. So you have as much foundation as you can create with that part of your body. Let's come up with both feet. So breathe out, low belly. Breathe in, keep the low belly still as you come up. Hold it steady once you've worked into your uplift. Feet press, front hip stretch. Chest moves towards the chin. Neck is long. Try to use your whole foundation, the back of your skull, back of your shoulders, feet, arms, hands. Inhale all the way up. Slowly coming down. Trying to remember to use your subtle core, which we focus on sometimes in this pose. Come all the way down, let your subtle core relax. Breathe in, ribcage. Breathe out, engage, low belly, pelvic floor. Breathe in, coming up. Trying the one leg bridge, so come up to a sustainable level. I'm going to bring one of my feet in a little more to center to lift the other leg off the ground. And it doesn't have to be high or anything. Hold it steady. Just let it go where it feels like it's helpful. Reaching it towards the sky. One choice. 3, try to keep your pelvis level. Press your foot into the ground. 4 and 5. Make your way safely down and out of that shape. You're feeling a lot of strength on the side we used, and then the other side, find that foundation a little closer to the midline with that foot if you like, and then use everything that touches the ground. Come up, lift your leg, wherever you'd like it to be, that leg in the air. Try to keep your hips level. 1, 2, press your foot. 4, one more, energize, lift, grow, strong, and then control and slowness. Get your spine down out of the shape. Let's come up to a nice, easy 2-footed bridge, sometimes called Hatha, 2-foot pose, because it's not upward bow, it's Hatha. Like today, today, counting in other languages. One more breath, nice, sustainable, not your maximum effort, just both feet lift, the hips. Notice the journey down, it's core strengthening as you bring your spine down in this control way. Check in with your head, re-lengthen. Apanasana now, the low belly still as you bring your knees to your chest and your head off the ground. Nice to go the other way after the back bends with your neck going into the forward shape. Ease your head back down. Okay to use a pillow here. Slipping into the figure 4 pose, either side first. We get to know where we are with this. You can start with your foot on the floor, maybe further away, so that you don't strain your knee joint at all, but you work this outer line of your leg that's on top. Hands, guide and support. Start to let your eyes rest back, just noticing the light that comes through the eyelids. Exhaling for 5, Steam for 8. 8. Stillness in the low belly as you switch. Meet this side where it is. So make it really precise to be therapeutic, positive, sustainable. 1. Tiny little refinements to find that sweet place. Sweet plus strong. Sukha sthira. And again. Out shape. Stillness in the low belly, both feet off the ground and up towards the ceiling. Turn your toes towards each other from your hips. Turn your toes away from each other from your hips. Twice more. Internal hip rotations. External hip rotations. Playful, curious, internal, external. Let's take external into happy baby. Bringing the knees down on either side. You can come behind the knees or maybe to the K1, roots of the big toes. Nice long neck. A little gentle movement is fine. Find stillness. Breathe again. Add a little squeeze if you're holding the roots of the big toes. Shavasana. Core strength as you're lowering your legs and lifting your legs every time. Protecting the back body by learning how to use the front as it was designed. Come out, stretch out. Check in with your low back space. Do you need something under your knees or your head? Do you need something on top of you so you're not distracted by cold or anything? If you had a weighted blanket, it would be awesome. Shavasana. Let go, let it soak in. Relax all of your muscles. Breathe freely. Rest your eyes. I'm finishing here, adding a little work of pranayama, the breath practices. Slowly breathing in when you're ready. Stretch to a gentle fullness. Pausing briefly is fine. You'll feel when the exhale is ready and just try to slowly Let it happen. Feel it in your body, the releasing of the breath. Maybe there's a little pause after that. Twice more. In range of motion of your breath. I'm going to slip my arms up along my ears just to have a little more breath space. Breathing well is using the core of the body. And one more time, feel the core of the body supporting the respiration. The breath traveling down low towards the belly, the arms down. So with that stillness in the low belly, transition. Okay, onto seated cross legs or the little thunderbolt pose, just to mix up the seated pose if this one works, where you sit towards your heels. It's different from hero where you sit between your heels. You might notice that we don't do that one. It's not for everybody. Just be the foundation. Come into the Pushpura Mudra where you bring your hands open, touching a little bit of the little fingers. Fill that space. It has an element of receiving and of giving. And it gives us an object for our meditation. So this learning, please taking them into your own practice of meditation if you have one, into your life when you just need a little moment. Handful of flowers is the gesture. Seal them up into that heart center point. Really come into the breastbone. Breathing center. And the throat, you speak your truth today, firmly planted, informed by an open heart and an open mind. Thank you, beautiful people, peacemakers. Keep shining your lights. Glad you joined us, Steve.